For decades, owning a car meant one simple ritual. Every few thousand miles, you popped the hood, drained the old oil, spun on a fresh filter, and drove away, knowing you just saved yourself $50 and a trip to some dealership waiting room with bad coffee and a flat screen playing cable news. That era is quietly dying. And here is the thing, it is not happening by accident. Today's automotive industry is executing a deliberate split. On one side, you have manufacturers building highly profitable service ecosystems, engineering vehicles not just to move metal off the lot, but to lock you into dealer-controlled maintenance networks for the entire life of the car. On the other side, a shrinking group of brands that still build machines real people can actually work on. And get this, luxury brands are posting record profits while dealerships charge $300, $500, sometimes $800 for what used to be a 45-minute garage job. Modern cars are increasingly engineered around proprietary fluids, software resets, and diagnostic tools that the average owner simply does not have sitting in their toolbox. Here is what the dealerships will not tell you. Many of these vehicles technically allow you to change your own oil, but the moment you try, you run into digital lockouts, warranty gray zones, and maintenance systems that silently demand dealer access to complete the job. The real kicker is that by the time you figure all that out, you have already wasted a Saturday and you are booking an appointment anyway. That is why smart buyers in 2026 are asking a completely different question. Not which car is fastest, but which car still lets me actually own it. And stick around to the end, because the final brand on this list did not just discourage the DIY oil change, they basically invented the modern repair lockout model. Number 1, BMW. The software gatekeeper, BMW, once built cars for people who spent their weekends wrenching in the garage. The old E30 chassis, the E36, even the early E46. These were machines that rewarded mechanical curiosity. Today, the brand has transformed into something fundamentally different, a software-driven luxury ecosystem where routine maintenance increasingly runs through dealer systems whether you want it to or not. Here is the data. In 2024, BMW moved 2.55 million vehicles globally, a record high. Average dealership oil service ranges from $199 to $450 depending on the model and engine spec. And BMW residual values remain among the strongest in the luxury segment, which tells you the brand has successfully convinced buyers that the premium is worth it. But here is where it gets truly interesting. BMW engines now rely on what they call condition-based service, a digital algorithm that determines when your maintenance is actually due based on driving conditions, oil, degradation rates, and thermal management data. Resetting that system after a DIY oil change often requires navigating the iDrive service menu, running an OBD diagnostic tool, or in many cases, dealer-level software called ISTA that you simply cannot buy at AutoZone. Add proprietary oil specifications, BMW Long Life 17 FE Plus is not a suggestion, it is an engineering requirement, and the average DIY mechanic starts hitting walls fast. Translation: you can physically drain the oil, but if the system is not reset correctly, your dash will scream at you for the next 3,000 miles that service is overdue, and most owners eventually give up and just pay the dealership. Bottom line, BMW did not outlaw the DIY oil change. They just replaced the wrench with a login screen. Number 2, Mercedes-Benz, the $800 oil change club. Mercedes-Benz used to be the gold standard of overbuilt mechanical engineering. The old diesel W123 sedans were practically indestructible, the kind of cars you pass down to your kids with 250,000 miles on the clock. Today, the brand has repositioned itself as a symbol of luxury service dependency, and your wallet is the one paying for that repositioning. Here is what the data shows. A standard Mercedes Service A, which includes an oil change, filter replacement, and multi-point inspection, routinely runs between $300 and $850 at dealerships. Maintenance costs for Mercedes ownership consistently rank in the top 3 for luxury ownership expenses industry-wide, and all of it is tracked through a system called Assist Plus, Mercedes's electronic service interval manager. The real kicker is how deeply integrated that system is. Resetting service intervals on a modern Mercedes often requires dealer-specific scanners, software recalibration, and digital service log updates that feed into the vehicle's central electronic architecture. Independent mechanics can do some of it, but not all of it, and not always cleanly. And get this, basic oil service that cost $50 20 years ago now routinely pushes $600 or more at a Mercedes dealership. That is not inflation. That is a business model. Owning a Mercedes does not just mean luxury driving, it means luxury maintenance bills permanently. Number 3, Porsche. Precision engineering, precision control. Porsche built its entire reputation on engineering purity and enthusiast loyalty. The brand has one of the most passionate ownership communities in the automotive world, And for good reason, the engineering is genuinely exceptional. But modern Porsche ownership increasingly revolves around dealer-managed maintenance systems, and that enthusiasm costs you every time the odometer ticks up. Oil service on a Porsche ranges from $400 to $900, depending on the model. The 911 GT cars, the Cayenne Turbo, the Panamera, all of them require highly specific synthetic oils. Many use dry sump lubrication systems with tight tolerances that punish incorrect specification choices, and all service resets are tied to Porsche's proprietary PWIS diagnostic software network. Here is the thing, you can physically perform the oil change. Nothing is mechanically preventing you. But resetting the maintenance logs and service intervals without PWIS is where the wall appears. Porsche resale values rank among the highest in the entire industry, which means owners have a strong financial incentive to keep service records clean and dealer verified. Translation: even if you do the work yourself, skipping the digital paper trail costs you money when you sell. Changing oil on a Porsche is less like routine maintenance and more like performing surgery with Swiss watch components. And Porsche knows exactly what that precision is worth to you. If you are finding this investigation useful, and let's be honest, your dealership is not going to hand you this breakdown, hit subscribe, because most car content will not tell you how these companies actually make their money after the sale, and we are just getting started. Number 4. Land Rover. Complexity. Overload Land Rover once meant something straightforward. A utilitarian, go-anywhere machine built for people who needed to cross rivers, not impress valet attendants. Today, Land Rover represents one of the most brutally complex luxury ownership experiences in the entire industry, and the maintenance ecosystem reflects every bit of that complexity. Land Rover consistently ranks near the bottom of reliability surveys across every major consumer research organization. Dealer maintenance costs for Discovery, Defender, and Range Rover models are among the highest in the full-size luxury SUV segment. And here is where it gets truly desperate. The engineering complexity that makes these vehicles impressive also makes them a nightmare to service without the right equipment. Modern Land Rovers rely on electronic service tracking, multi-system software diagnostics, and tightly packaged engine bays that were clearly not designed with a backyard mechanic in mind. DIY maintenance does not just require determination, it requires dealer-grade tools, software access, and a working knowledge of a platform architecture that Land Rover actively does not publish for independent use. Bottom line, owning a Land Rover without a nearby dealership is like owning a yacht without a harbor. The machine works beautifully in the right conditions. Getting stranded outside those conditions is an entirely different story. Number 5. Volvo, the Scandinavian software car. Volvo used to build boxy, bulletproof machines that owners could maintain in their driveways with a basic socket set and a repair manual. The old 240 series were practically the North Star of DIY-friendly engineering. Simple, logical, designed to last. That Volvo is gone. The modern brand is transitioning aggressively towards software-defined vehicles, targeting a 100% electric lineup by 2030. Their new platform architecture integrates maintenance tracking with digital service systems and online service logs that sync with Volvo's central network. And here is the thing, independent mechanics who want to reset service intervals or access diagnostic data often need paid software subscriptions to Vida, Volvo's proprietary diagnostic platform. Translation: the tools required to properly complete what used to be a simple oil reset now live behind a paywall that independent shops and individual owners were not intended to access easily. The Volvo that invited you into the garage with a wrench has been replaced by one that hands you a software license agreement. Modern Volvo ownership feels less like owning a machine and more like running a Scandinavian operating system. Updates included, control not included. Here is a question for the comments section. Have you noticed dealership service prices rising in your area, or are you still doing your own oil changes? Let me know below, because the data we are seeing suggests most owners have quietly given up, and I want to know if that matches what you are experiencing. Number 6. Audi, the spec sheet trap. Audi built its image around precision German engineering and the idea that you are buying something technically superior. And on the engineering side, that reputation is largely earned. But here is what the brand does not lead with in the marketing materials. Their fluid specification ecosystem is one of the most restrictive in the entire industry. Audi, operating under the VW Group umbrella, enforces oil standards like VW 504.00 and 507.00 that go far beyond basic viscosity ratings. These specifications limit which aftermarket oils are genuinely certified for use in your engine. Using the wrong oil, even a high-quality synthetic that does not carry VW Group certification, can trigger warranty disputes and, in some documented cases, sensor warnings and service flags that follow the vehicle's digital record permanently. And get this, maintenance costs for Audi ownership rank among the highest in German luxury brands across multiple industry cost studies. The precision engineering you paid for on the sticker comes with precision maintenance requirements that funnel you toward dealer-approved products and dealer-performed service at every interval. Audi did not lock the oil cap, they locked the chemistry inside the bottle, and that is a far more elegant lockout than anything involving a wrench. Number 7. Mini. Luxury maintenance in a small package. Mini began as one of the most accessible enthusiast cars on the market. Small, nimble, cheap to run, easy to work on. The original formula was the opposite of high-maintenance luxury. Then BMW bought the brand, maintenance formula changed entirely. Modern Mini vehicles run on BMW's condition-based service architecture, the same digital maintenance management system that governs much larger, far more expensive BMW models. Dealer oil changes on current Mini models regularly run $200 to $350, which is a remarkable number for a compact car that was supposed to be affordable to own. And DIY service often requires the same specialized reset tools that BMW ownership demands. Here is the thing, Mini buyers frequently do not expect this. They walk in expecting an accessible, quirky, reasonably affordable car. The sticker price might be reasonable, the ownership costs are not. Translation, you bought a small car and inherited a large dealership dependency. Mini might be small, but its maintenance ecosystem is pure luxury bureaucracy stuffed into a hatchback body. Number 8. Tesla, the company that deleted oil changes. Tesla did not just discourage the DIY oil change. They engineered it out of existence entirely and replaced it with something that gives dealerships a headache while simultaneously creating a new category of repair lockout that nobody in the industry had really seen before. Tesla vehicles are fully electric, which means no engine oil changes, no oil filters, no conventional fluid service intervals. On that specific front, Tesla genuinely solved a real problem. But here is where it gets truly interesting. What Tesla replaced the oil change with is a software-controlled repair ecosystem that is arguably more restrictive than anything the German luxury brands built. Tesla service operations run through direct manufacturer control. Components in Tesla vehicles are frequently software paired to the car's central system, meaning that replacing certain parts without manufacturer authorization can render those parts non-functional. Independent repair shops routinely report inability to access diagnostic documentation, parts, pairing tools, or software authorization needed to complete repairs. The Right to Repair movement has specifically named Tesla as a central case study in manufacturer-controlled service restriction. And get this, Tesla operates no traditional dealer network, meaning there is no independent franchise dealer to push back on service pricing or advocate for the consumer. When Tesla sets a service price, that is the price. Bottom line, Tesla solved the oil change problem the Silicon Valley way. Delete the oil, lock the computer, control the entire vertical stack from manufacturing to maintenance. The machine is innovative. The ownership model is the industry's most aggressive version of repair restriction dressed up as modernization. The modern automotive market in 2026 is not just a competition over horsepower, range, or tech features. It is a battle between two completely different philosophies of what car ownership actually means. On one side, you have the traditional model, vehicles designed to be maintained, repaired, and genuinely owned by the people who bought them. Machines that invite you into the garage, platforms that independent mechanics can actually work on without a software subscription. On the other side, you have what this list represents. Vehicles packed with proprietary diagnostic systems, certified fluid requirements, encrypted service intervals, and software architectures that quietly redirect every maintenance decision back toward the dealership. And from a pure business standpoint, the strategy is rational. Dealership service departments generate billions in recurring revenue, often more total profit over a vehicle's life than the original sale itself. But for you, the buyer, the lesson is brutally simple. Before you sign anything, do not just research the 0 to 60 time, the cargo space, or whether it comes with heated seats. Ask one critical question: how easy is this car to maintain once the warranty expires? Because the difference between a vehicle designed for owners and a vehicle designed for service departments can mean thousands of dollars over the life of that car. Here is the thing: the brands on this list are not going anywhere. Some of them build genuinely impressive machines. But impressive engineering and owner-hostile maintenance ecosystems are not mutually exclusive, and the industry is betting you will not notice the second part until you are already 3 years into your loan. If you want the unfiltered truth about the automotive industry, the corporate strategies, the ownership traps, and the brands that are actually worth your money, subscribe to Motormind right now. because the next video might just save you from your next $1,000 oil change.